Flosstube. This is Stephanie, the Ivy House Crafter. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. I haven't been secretive about the fact that I experienced depression, and I had a pretty severe episode that lasted a couple weeks, and I didn't do any stitching, just sat around doing nothing basically, because that's all that I had energy for. So that's why I haven't made videos, but I'm back and just catching a few minutes here. I'm sorry, you can probably hear my toddler fussing out there. He's fine. He's probably frustrated about his toy not doing exactly what he wants it to do or something. Anyway, I thought I'd just take a few minutes and get caught up, because I got stitching again, and yeah. So the last video I did was July 15th. And later that day, and for the next 2 days, I worked on Plum Street Sampler's Autumn Saltboxes. And this is a piece that I'm stitching. I'm stitching both of them together in one piece. So this is what I have so far. I'm trying to remember exactly what I got done since the last video. I don't remember how far I was. Let's just say I stitched the gray house. I'm pretty sure that let's see, I had this part done and maybe a little bit in here. And so I finished the light gray. I put in all the windows and the roof and the barn quilt. So that was 3 days of work. And this is turning out really fun. All that I have left on this piece is a bunch of these stars. They're going to be all over in here. And then a crow down here at the bottom. And then this piece will be done. So that was Plum Street Sampler's Autumn Saltboxes, and I'm stitching this with all the called for colors on the called for fabric, which I think was 36 count Beach Brew or something like that. And yeah, after that I took my hiatus and didn't stitch for quite a while, and then I decided that I needed to pick it up again. I was okay. The older kids will take care of the younger one who fell down, I think. He's fine. He's fine. I decided that I needed to start stitching again. I was kind of I had been through the worst of the depressive episode and was starting to come up on the other side, and felt that I could stitch again. So I had a start and a finish all in one day. This is Autumn Spice, and it's a freebie pattern from Little House Needleworks. I picked it up in the little free stuff box when I went to pick up an order from 123 Stitch months ago. I don't remember when, but I stitched this because in October I will be, I'm sorry if they're distracting you, they're distracting me and it's driving me crazy. In October I'm going to be going to the Stitch West Snug Harbor Crafts retreat here in Utah. And there's going to be a smalls exchange, and so this is going to be finished into my smalls exchange piece. Holy cow. I'm gonna pause the video and go see if I can see if I can make them not be so noisy and distracting and everything that kids are. Okay, a little bit less chaotic out there. So I showed Autumn Spice. Oh, and this is stitched on 28 count Carolina linen, and the color is Sand. And this is just one of those rolls of Charles Craft linen that you get at Walmart or Joann's. Let's see, this is bringing us to the last 2 days in July. And I got out my Chalkboard Mandala piece. I'm getting pretty close on this one. Let's see. This is what I've got so far. And this is a J&P Coats variegated floss. It came in a pack of flosses. And the last time I showed this, I was sort of bemoaning the fact that I only had 2 skeins and it wasn't enough. But since then, I was looking through my Flosstboxes for something completely unrelated, and realized that I had 2 more skeins of this colorway that I just hadn't bobbinated. So I have more than enough to finish my piece, thankfully, and I don't have to go find more. So what I did, it's kind of hard to believe this was 2 days worth of work, but I put this much in. That's all I did. I had spent the entire day previously stitching and was still in recovery from my depressive episode. And so and I was probably busy with something or other. So this was about as much as I could handle, just that little tiny bit. But really, I'm so close to a finish on this one, and really pleased with how it is turning out. And that is being stitched with 2 strands of floss on 32 count Jobelin. Trying to remember the color. Something to do with sheep. Yeah, I should remember. I don't. I've used it for other stuff too. 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin. Is that right? Anyway, at about that time, just the last couple of days in August, I was working on getting caught up with watching Flosstube, and watched the episode that Michelle Bendy Stitchy put up last Saturday, in which she talked herself into doing Arbitrary August. And I was like, you know, I think that might be just the push I need to kind of really get back into stitching and, you know, touch all my, well, maybe not, no, yeah. Anyway, touch all my projects, give them some love, and, you know, just kind of motivate me to do some stitching every day. So I have been spinning my Decision Roulette wheel on my phone. It's an app on my phone, and I've been doing Arbitrary August. So for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's basically you work on a different project every day in August, and use some method of randomly selecting what that piece will be each day. So like I said, I'm using my Decision Roulette app. It just spins the wheel and tells me which project I'll work on, and I spin it the night before and then have that project ready to work on the next day. So August 1st, I spun the Cat Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. This is a fun one to pull out and work on. It was a lot of filling in this time. I put in these two planks here. I filled in the rest of the roof tiles, and then I outlined this window and this window with the dark brown. So this is where I'm at now on the cat sampler. And this is being stitched on 32 count linen, and the color is ice blue, I think, using the called for fancy flosses. Okay, August 2nd, I spun Medieval Motives, and this is one that I designed, and it's available in my Etsy shop. And if you haven't been on my channel before when I've talked about this, these colors are not at all accurate because the printer I used was a pathetic printer. But this is the basic idea. I have to put everything away as I get it out, or it will just be a big mess. So here's what I have so far on Medieval Motives, and this little bit right here is what I put in on Friday. So this is always fun to get out and work on. I like the geometric sort of Saxon medieval motifs. They're fun to work on, and it's repetitive enough to be, you know, so that by a certain point you really just know what you're doing already, but not too much that you get super bored. Okay, yesterday, Saturday, August 3rd, I have this book, Preserving Stitches, that I won in a giveaway from the lovely Shirley at Tranquil Stitches, and I have spiced peaches that I'm currently working on. I'm doing just one of these at a time, you know, only having one of these going at a time. And this is what I have so far on spiced peaches. I finished this peach and put the stem and the leaves here, and I did the words, spiced peaches. So all that I have left on this one is the recipe down here, which will be entirely in backstitch, and so that will be what I work on the next time I pull this one out. And then that one will be done, and I can start on another fun recipe cross stitch. Eventually, those will all hang up in my dining room, which is part of the kitchen. Oh, and that's 28 count natural linen, or I don't remember what the color of the linen is. It's like a natural or flax color or something. I don't know. Anyway, so today is Sunday, August 4th. I usually film on Mondays, but I'm actually thinking of switching it to Sundays right after I get home from church, because I'm all dolled up and I look pretty and I feel pretty, and why not put myself on camera when I'm already dressed up and have my hair done, and on a good day even makeup. So so we'll see if that works. Anyway, so last night when I spun the wheel for today, I got the cabinet, and this is from Thistles, designed by Lisbeth Gottschall. And this picture does not do it justice. It would be hard to, because it's a pretty big piece. So I haven't worked on it yet today, but I can show what I have so far. I'm stitching this on 28 count. Yeah, this is a linen. It's vintage Sahara, and it's stamped, so the design is only on one side of the fabric. And I have the first shelf of the cabinet complete. It's got some books and blocks and a chessboard and hat boxes and this fun star ornament. So when I pull this out to work on it later today, I will start the second shelf, and I'll just stitch that up down here. And that will be fun. That one is, I already put this away. It's like blue and white stoneware, crocks, and some cutting boards, teacups hanging and stuff. So that, and it, yeah, blue and white tea set or something. Anyway, it's dishes, it's pretty, so that will be fun to stitch. And that's what I'm working on today. And as for plans, since it is Arbitrary August, I will continue to spin my wheel every evening, and the next day work at least a little bit on whatever the wheel says I'm going to work on. And Matthew is screeching again. That's just what he does lately. I forgot to show one thing. I had one purchase that I made in the past few weeks, and I could not help it. Jennifer Upton here on Flosstube, she messaged me and said, "Oh my gosh, look at this, holy cow." And I was like, I agree, holy cow, and I went and bought it. Well, pre-ordered it because it only just barely came out. This is Plum Street Sampler's Tired Trio. And it's sloths, and so obviously I had to have it because sloths. I love sloths. So yeah, at some point I will be stitching up these absolutely darling, hilariously adorable sloths. I showed Audrey, my daughter, she loves sloths just about as much as I do, and she was squealing as much as Matthew has been out there, but hers was a very happy, excited squeal. Anyway, and I will neither confirm nor deny that there was a little bit of squealing involved on my part as well when I first saw the pattern. So, yeah. Okay. I am caught up. I am stitching again, and that feels good. It feels nice to come out of one of my depressive episodes. It stinks like crazy when I'm in it, and I can't, I mean, I have trouble even talking and just doing anything that would be considered a normal person, just everyday stuff. So I look back on that period of a couple weeks with just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I had to go through that. And it's a bummer, but I am glad that, you know, once I get through that really dark period, it gets light again. And I'm glad to be out of it. For now. So, with that, I will send you on your lovely stitchy way. Have a great stitching week, everybody. Stitchy this, stitchy that, stitch, stitch, stitch. Don't know where that came from. Happy stitching, everybody. Bye.